Hello Stampers, my name is Linda Bedinger and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Denver, Colorado. And I've got my buddy Puccini with me here. If I can just pick him up. He's getting to be quite a load. He's about 3 pounds bigger than I was expecting. Anyway, I have finally my May paper pumpkin alternatives for you. And I had a lot of fun with this kit. It is so pretty. And I ended up putting 6 or 7 cards together and then 3 more ideas that I can give you, and I'll show you exactly what to do this. I kind of ran out of time to finish those last 3, but we've got some opportunity. Puccini's been sitting with me all morning here, just purring up a storm and sitting in the middle of my work. So let's just get started. Okay, this is the paper pumpkin this time, and it's using all of the new in colors plus a few additional colors, and it's absolutely just as gorgeous as it can be. The kit is meant to make 9 cards, 3 different designs. This one with the canoe in the water, this one with the tent, and this one with a path. And it's just gorgeous. There is an add-on. It says using the stylish shapes dies, you can do some additional kinds of things. So these are things that are in the annual catalog, so it's not a kit or something that you purchase unless you don't have them in your set. And next month it's going to coordinate with the Countryside Suite. And it's got some companion dies that you can purchase, and they're very inexpensive. If I remember, they're like $6, so there's some opportunity. So Paper Pumpkin, as always, has all of your materials, and the papers this time are just gorgeous. So this one is Exploring in Color May 2023, and this is essentially the package. You have these 3 card bases. Aren't they just stunning? Look at this. Talk about perfect masculine cards, and some of them not even masculine cards, with the envelopes to match. So there's that envelope for that one, this envelope for this one, and this envelope for this one. And of course, I never make what they suggest. I only make alternatives, and I only make full-size cards. So I have used every ounce that they gave me. I cut these into individual card fronts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times the 9 cards. So you could get 18 cards out of just doing that, because each one of those scenes by itself is very attractive. Then on these envelopes, I did fussy cut out all of these pieces along the bottom here, and I used the mountains to back a couple of different ones, and I'll show you what it is I did. I cut the flaps off and cut them down, and I used them for banners, and I used them on card fronts, and so I got quite a few cards. So I'll start with this one. This one says, "Cheers to another adventure." Let me show you the stamp set. The stamp set says, "Cheers to another adventure. Happy birthday. Life is meant for good friends and great adventures." This one, it doesn't matter where you're going, it's who you have beside you. There's this cute little boot, a cup, and a compass. And I think I used everything but the boot. And if I'd had some more time, I'd have used it too. But this one, what I did was I used the envelope and I cut out the scene at the bottom of the 2 envelope pieces, this one and this one, and then glued those 2 together so those mountains are kind of behind that path, and then adhered that down here to the inside of the card. And I was so enamored with the way that one came out, I made a card where that is the card front. So I loved the way that looked. So I put another one together and did that on the front. And I used one of my blending brushes to put some blue sky in here. Life is meant for good friends and great adventure. And then on the inside, I did the coffee cup and the compass going different directions. So that is my card number 1. So this one is my card number 2. Your Stampin' Spot this time is copper clay. I've decided, I wasn't crazy about these colors when they first came out, but working with this kit, they're definitely growing on me. This one, I used a Pebble Path card base, and then I backed the front panel in copper clay, and I really do like this color. It's very, very attractive. And on mine, they came on white. Everything came with white as the background. But what I found was I liked it so much better on the very vanilla that that's what I used time and again. So there is my card number 1. There is my card number 2. On this one, which is the second half of the buffaloes with the tent, I think, I cut the aspen die out of mossy meadow and again out of vellum. And I just cut the circle away on the mossy meadow so that I could use this panel in the center of the large oval, and then overlaid the vellum piece so that you could see through it. Because when I did that in a cardstock color, it just blocked everything, and it didn't look good. So I decided to do it vellum. And on this, I did use my wild wheat, I think it was, for the sentiment on this one. And I did some faded compasses on the inside of that. So that is my card number 3. Now, on this one that has the tent, that's what's on this side of the card. I cut this down to, let's see, what did I cut it down to exactly? I cut it down to 2 1/4 by 4, and then back that in mossy meadow, and then put it all on a boho blue background. And so when I cut that down, I ended up with some strips, and I decided to make this one a fun fold. So this one opens this way, and I used the very vanilla, and I used one of the pieces that I cut off on that side, and one that was right next to this and looked like it was an extension of the picture. So that is my card number 4. And then I have this one, which is my card number 5. And I used the panel that had the boat, and I moved this all the way out to the edge, and I used one of the envelope flaps to create this piece, and then I just stamped that in the copper clay over the copper clay. And I thought this one was just screaming for copper clay. And on the inside, I just put the sentiment. It doesn't matter where you're going, it's who you have beside you. And I used one of the strips that I cut away from something else that had pine trees in it and some darker grass on the bottom. So that is my card number 5. This one is my card number 6. You were also given a sticker page, shiny stickers, a boot, and I used the scene from the envelope, and since it was so white, I went ahead and used my blending brush again with the Boho blue to give the sky some color. And then I used that, there's the boot. In the inside, I did the same thing. And since I had a shiny sticker on this one, I used a shiny sticker in here. And there's the boot with a few flowers in it. And this one says Explore. Very simple. So that is my card number 6. Then this one, I took the other half of the panel with the mountains, and I did my happy birthday right on the card front. Did it in very vanilla, backed it in boho blue, and on the inside I just took one of the other offcuts. Life is meant for good friends and great adventures, and did the coffee cup. I probably should have done that in blue. But there is my 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th card. And then I was so enamored with these card fronts, I did something else here. I have very little left because I've got the 3 envelopes and the 3 card fronts is all I have left. And I didn't use any of their labels, I don't think. But this card, I got started. And what I did was I took this, like this card front, and it's got that score line on it. But if you go from the inside and you run your bone folder right along that score line, you can get that mostly flattened. And that's what I did using 3 of the card fronts. The scenes were so pretty, I couldn't bear to not do something with them. So once that's gone, you can reinforce that being gone by folding it back just a hair. And on these, I can barely see it. And I thought, if that bothered you, you could put a sentiment over this. This is so busy down here, you won't see it. But if you put a sentiment up here, you won't see that. Or you could run a couple of pieces of linen thread, make this just a tiny bit smaller so that it has a border, and put a little piece of linen thread across that score line, and you'd never see it. And those scenes are just so beautiful. I thought that with a sentiment would be great. So I kind of made one of each of those. Here is the one with the tent and the buffalo. And so I did all 3 of the scenes, and I thought those would make lovely masculine cards with a happy birthday message. And you can see that score line a little bit, but again, if you just shorten that by 1/4 of an inch so that you can wrap your linen thread around it, I think if you put your message along here, nobody would probably even notice that. But there we are. So I did 7 and then got started on these last 3, and I still have 3 full card fronts, 3 envelopes, and several large chunks like this size that you could back on a piece of mossy meadow or something and make that a whole other card front. And I've got several offcuts like that I have left over. So even chopping them up and using an awful lot of the scenes kind of the way they came, I still got probably at least maybe 15 cards by the time I'm completely done. And you could do some that are just stamping, where you could put coffee cups and boots and the compass in the different colors all over a card front with an adventure message or a happy birthday message. So I think you could get any number of cards out of there and still make a very big splash. Anyway, thank you so much for stopping by my YouTube channel today. I do so appreciate it. And if you don't already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, well, I'd love to be your demonstrator. Or you could join my team. It's always a good time to join Stampin' Up! In fact, there's a join offer through the month of June that is $155 worth of product for $99. And so there are my, I think it's 10 cards for this one. I had a lot of fun with that. Let's see, I do a prize draw every month, and you can put yourself in the drawing by placing an order of any size on my store, lbedinger.stampinup.net, and you can get to it through my blog, www.inkingenuity.com. There's also a paper sale a designer series paper sale going on in the month of June. There's probably 13 different papers that are available. So lots going on with Stampin' Up. And that's it for me today. Again, thanks so much for stopping by, and I will be back soon with more cards, more projects, and more tips. Bye.